What is up, everybody? So in the past 24 hours, there has been a increase in talk about the Packers defensive coordinator situation, and this is because a certain head coach in college football, Jim Leonhard of Wisconsin, recently put out a statement that he will not be returning to Wisconsin in 2023. And he, of course, was a defensive coordinator there for a while. And the reason that this is being talked about among Packers fans is because of the fact that 2 years ago, after Mike Pettin was let go of, after 2 years of Matt LaFleur being the head coach, they decided to search for a new defensive coordinator. And Jim Leonhard of Wisconsin was one of the coaches who was under consideration for the Packers defensive coordinator job. Jim Leonhard, however, then decided to take himself out of the search and stay at Wisconsin. The Packers, of course, come in and decide to bring in Joe Barry to be the Packers defensive coordinator, which he has been for last season and this season as well. And then right now, because of the lack of success on this Packers defense, there is, I'd say, a big chance that this offseason the Packers move on from Joe Barry. Matt LaFleur right now says he doesn't see an issue, with the coaching, because if he did, he would already have fixed that. But I sort of feel like if he did let him go, it would probably be this offseason, which means the Packers would need to look for a new defensive coordinator. And with Jim Leonhard already, under consideration last time and now deciding to leave Wisconsin, it could make sense for him to come to Green Bay. And when we take a look at his time at Wisconsin, I wanted to show you some stats here that I saw in an Acme Packing Company article. They got lots of great articles over there. And this is from Wisconsin's site about Jim Leonhard. So it says here, in Leonhard's 5 seasons as defensive coordinator, University of Wisconsin has ranked among the nation's top 5 in total defense and top 10 in scoring defense 4 times. During that time, the Badgers ranked 3rd in scoring defense, 17.3 points per game, 1st in total yards allowed, 284.8 yards per game, 1st in pass efficiency defense, 110.5, 3rd in rushing defense, 103.4, and 1st in opponent's third down conversion, 30.5%. Wisconsin has forced 112 turnovers over that span, tied for 4th most among Power 5 conference teams. The one thing that is important in your defensive coordinator is that he gets results, and that is exactly what Jim Leonhard has done at Wisconsin by taking a look at all of those stats. The 3rd best scoring defense, 3rd best rushing defense. So he has gotten it done at the college level. Of course, going from college to the NFL is much different, and just because you have success in college obviously doesn't mean that you're going to 100% have success at the NFL level. And I'm honestly not too familiar with Leonhard. I'm not the biggest college football fan. I don't tune into it too much. And so I was looking through Packers Reddit, and I came across one post from someone who seems to be a little bit more in tune with Wisconsin football. And I know many of you guys probably are. So if you have some more insights into this, you watch Wisconsin all the time, you probably have a better idea. So feel free to comment your thoughts down below. Everyone can check those out as well. But here's an interesting point from M1ST3R51R. On Reddit. So they say this: the Badgers typically have very low rated recruits and multiple walk-on players, yet the defenses under Jim have been mostly spectacular. He knows how to truly coach players and utilize them to their fullest potential, and isn't afraid to adjust his scheme to suit the personnel on the field. He is literally what the Packers fan base has been begging for the past 20 years. So it makes a good point. If this is true, which I believe it is, that the Wisconsin typically has low-rated recruits, and they're still performing as one of the best defenses in college. This sort of shows that Leonhard has been able to get the most out of the pieces that he has there. And that has been one of the issues this year for the Packers defense. It seemed as if we would be a great defense. It seemed like our defensive line was going to be better than it has been in a long time. And none of that has really happened. I think part of that, as I've said in the past, goes to the players. They haven't played as well. Kenny Clark hasn't played as well. You, of course, suffered lots of injuries, but it is the job of the defensive coordinator to get the most out of the players, whoever it is. And I think that looking at Packers fans and the discussion after Leonhard decided to move on from Wisconsin, because he was the interim coach this year for a few games. I think he went 4-3 or something like that, and they decided to hire Cincinnati's Luke Fickell to take the head coaching job, and they offered Leonhard a spot, but he said he wanted to move on. Maybe that's because he wants to be a head coach somewhere else in college football. Would he be open to coming to Green Bay? You would assume that's a possibility, but who knows? Last time he wanted to leave, he didn't decide to continue trying to become the defensive coordinator of the Packers. But I just do think that for the Packers defense, after the past couple of years, I think we just need someone new in there. I don't exactly know who the right answer is. I haven't really done a ton of research into other options. I know that Vic Fangio is out there. I believe he's working with the Eagles in some capacity. That could be an option. You have Mike Zimmer, former Vikings coach, who has a pretty solid history of running defenses. And so I think there could be multiple options that could make sense. And of course, the first thing that has to happen is the Packers have to move on from Joe Barry for there obviously to be need at the defensive coordinator position, which I think it's going to happen after the season, but at the same time, we don't exactly know. Matt LaFleur will have to make that decision because as Brian Gutekunst said in a press conference a few days ago, Matt LaFleur is the one who makes these coaching decisions. So we will see what happens there, but it is interesting to think about when it comes to Jim Leonhard already being in Wisconsin. It seems like if they moved on to him, the fan base will be very excited. And hopefully that would lead to some results, which it did in college. We'll see if it would happen at the NFL level. But that's all I have for you guys. If you guys would like to see more of my Packers writing, I'll be putting out another Packers Q&A in the next day or so, maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. And if you sign up down below, you will get that received to your inbox right when I post it. So I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching as always. Drop your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next time.